Aha! Ah!
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hi guys, Samantha here. Welcome to my channel and a speed build of what I would like to say is inspired by Vault 76, kind of like a tribute to the new Fallout 76 that is coming out here, I think in November, if I remember correctly. But I've been sitting over here watching all this doggone E3 coverage, and part of me is jealous, and part of me, because I would love to be there, and part of me is just like so super inspired by some of the games and stuff coming out. And that's one thing that I love about the gaming community is that, you know, we can make like anything possible, make like all these imaginary worlds and imaginary situations or whatever, and just have a good time with, you know, just with gaming in general. So something that really stuck out to me for the Vault 76 and just the new Bethesda game that's coming out, the Fallout 76, was I guess just like the vault living, because that was one thing that they really kind of focused on a lot in the E3 conference was like the way the vault worked and how you lived in there for 25 years. And then you had to come out and kind of like reclamation day and like, you know, go see what's going on, maybe build a new society and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's just something about it was just like so inspiring to me. So I ended up going online and just looking for like a bunch of CC and stuff that could like make this reality possible in The Sims 4, and I was able to do it fairly successfully. I was super excited about some of the stuff I found and came across, and I just really wanted to be able to implement that into like a type of gameplay. And honestly, y'all, as I was sitting here making this, I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to actually do an LP based around this whole concept. I just don't know how to do it, but don't be surprised if in the future your girl comes up with one, because, you know, I like those types of challenging type survival type gameplay, kind of like how I did with Walking Dead, but something a little bit more, because Walking Dead was more zombies. This is more like man-made, like, you know, if you know anything about Fallout, by the way, the video game, it's pretty much based on these underground survival type tunnels, the underground worlds, I'm sorry, or underground housing, so that if perhaps the world gets destroyed by a nuclear bomb, that you have a place where you can actually go and survive the aftermath and maybe live there for a couple years until it's safe to come out. So in Fallout 4, which was the first Fallout I've ever played, I had heard about the game, but I never played it before until Fallout 4. So in Fallout 4, you know, you get approached by this gentleman knocking on your door, and he's like, hey, you know, don't you want to save your future of your family, protect your future? You know, the world is a dangerous place. Anything can happen. In so many words, I don't remember exactly how he said it. And he has like a clipboard. You sign up for vault space. I'm assuming it's a certain amount of money. And then when the sirens go off, you run to the vault and, you know, take coverage. So basically I was trying to take a little bit of the inspiration from Fallout 4, which, if you remember, if you've seen the intro, it's kind of like the characters are running across a bridge, and there's like a little bit of water, and there's rocks and stuff, there's trees, and until they get behind like this little gated area, and it's where the vault is. So what I wanted to kind of do here is have it be inspired by that, but also have like some other elements where this is like a whole separate vault. So I don't know why I liked that mouse and I decided to like size him up, but anyway, but have this be inspired by Vault Living, but not so much be like Vault 111 or Vault 76. But I ended up naming this, I think, Vault 137. It's just like going to be a whole nother vault that's part of the whole Vault Tech like corporation, you know, just a whole nother vault. And so what's particularly interesting about this vault, which is why you see I'm putting all this playground equipment out here, is that it actually was built behind this gated area and nobody really knew what was going on behind there. You know, they're just making like a whole vault back there, underground vault back there, and nobody knew what was going on. And the disguise was kind of like, oh, this is just a playground. This is just a place where you could take your kids and like enjoy a barbecue and just let your kids play or whatever. And then on the flip side, they're doing all of this crazy stuff behind the scenes that nobody knows about. So I tried to size up the rocks and everything to kind of like make them look like they could cover it up. The only problem with the rocks is as you size them larger, they get super wide and then it ends up being a little bit too big, but I wanted them to be super tall and I really couldn't create it like how I wanted to. But I think it worked out to a degree. I ended up putting some rocks on top of other rocks and kind of making them a little bit bigger and rising them up just to kind of make it look like layers of rock and debris. But the guys or I guess the disguise is pretty much is that this is a playground and behind those fences is where like a lot of the vault stuff takes place. So I like this playground for the purpose of it's not functional. It's just purely decorative, but it looks like it's the fallout of, speaking of fallout, it looks like it's from like, you know, the fallout of like a bomb being detonated or something like that. And, you know, this is the remains of it. So it kind of fits like, oh, if someone just happens to walk by, oh, that's just a park and they can just go on and move on, not even realizing behind the scenes, there's like a whole underground vault, which we'll get to that later on. So I really like this old dilapidated car and I really like I ended up finding like two cars that were kind of like dated for the area. Because the funny thing about Fallout is it's set in the future, but it has like a 50s vibe in my opinion. I don't know if 50s is the right era to like to kind of categorize it in, but it has that vibe. Like everything is like very old school, retro. But it's set in the future, which is kind of funny because you guys know how like the way trends and stuff go. Even though we're not in the 70s anymore, bell bottoms made their way back. When we weren't in like the 80s anymore, like, you know, that 80s stuff came back. So I think that the whole purpose of maybe making it look like a 50s era or something to that nature was because the styles and fashions do kind of like make their way back. So even in the future. So maybe that's the reason why they did it like that. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but I always questioned, like, I wonder why they did that in the first place. But anyway, so I had these cars and I was torn about, which you're going to see them in a second, using some of the brand new ones versus like the dilapidated ones. But truth be told, this could be a vault that someone could actually live out of, come back and forth, entering the world, kind of like looking for supplies, going back in. So they might have came across some cars that maybe weren't harmed in the making of the bomb, and then they parked them here so they can maneuver around the town. But in the meanwhile, there is some dilapidated cars, which you see right there, and some tire debris and stuff like that. And I just like those little parking pillars because I just felt like it gave so much texture. I did use a fake dog in Fallout 4. I've never played any of the other Fallouts, so correct me if I'm wrong about this assumption. But in Fallout 4, there was a dog character. His name was Dog Meat, and he reminded me of Dog Meat, which I think is like a German Shepherd. He might have been a mixed, but I know he looked more like a German Shepherd than anything. And so when I saw the little statue dog, I was like, oh, Dog Meat. So I just stuck him out there. But my plan is if I actually do play with this lot, I probably will create a German Shepherd for my character and actually have like Dog Meat, you know, instead of having like a fake Dog Meat. But just for the purpose of the video, I just thought it looked so cool that he was out there kind of like guarding the area or whatever. So kind of playing around with terrain paint. Me and terrain paint do not get along. I know I've said this, I don't know how many times in my life that me and terrain paint just don't get along. So you know, I've been learning recently, and this is a tip that I could give you guys if you are having struggles with terrain paint, to play around with that little transparency slider. I felt like I could get it a little bit more realistic when it was faded to a degree, because I wanted this to look like there was some shrubbery, there was some grass that they didn't get a chance to cut. I wanted it to look like it was unkept, but still have like some dead grass elements, and then still had like some grass that maybe was making its way back. So I really had a tough time trying to recreate that whole situation. But I definitely played around with that slider and making things a little bit more transparent. And of course, as you guys can tell, this is in Oasis Springs. I feel like Oasis Springs was like the perfect place for like I don't know, like a post-apocalyptic type, not even apocalyptic. Well, I guess that would be considered apocalyptic because everything is like all like brown and deserty and dry looking. So I felt like that would be like the best place to do it in. So And then, of course, with the rocks and stuff in the background. This lot is actually on the 50 by 50 park lot that's in Oasis Springs. So it's a fairly big lot, but like I said, it has like a lot going on. So anyway, here I am just kind of like messing around with the inside of the vault. I had these little tankers and stuff because, of course, like I told you guys, when this little gate was closed before we exposed it, after the fallout, after the bombs or whatever the situation, the story might be, we opened up the gates, we left them open so people could kind of come in and out and go as they please. But what I'm envisioning the whole storyline to this whole lot would probably be is that maybe they had some secret employees or maybe some secrets that people I'm thinking like this wasn't a general public type vault. That's the vibe I'm getting from it, which is the reason why it's kind of disguised with it being like a playground in the front. So I'm envisioning maybe some Vault Tech employees had like a secret vault and they were going to use this for themselves. And maybe they had like some more high tech stuff down there, maybe some science experiments so they could like find a cure for like some of the rat away and stuff like that, So that's what I've been envisioning about it. So if you guys seen like Fallout 4 or just them entering the vault, it literally looks like I don't know how to describe it. It looks like you step up on something and then it brings you down into the base, into the underground living quarters. So I really wanted to recreate that. And y'all, with The Sims, it is virtually impossible to do anything like that without stairs. But thanks to this handy dandy mod I found on Mod The Sims, there is actually an invisible elevator that you could just put on any object, including fake elevators or deco elevators, and it would mimic the the flow of an elevator like from City Living. So and then the funny thing is, as I was playing with this mod, it became apparent to me that our Sims never really enter an elevator. They just appear places. So this mod is like the craziest thing. Oh, speaking of which, all the stuff that I'm using will be in the description box. I forgot to say that, including this mod that I'm speaking of. But yeah, it's the creepiest thing that our Sims just appear. So that's pretty much how this mod works. You have two little markers. One's red for what's considered the master, and then one's green for what's considered the slave. I hate that terminology, but that's how the modder created it. That's how they worded it. So anyway, you place the master where where the main entrance will be, and then you place wherever you want your sim to appear, on the next marker, which is the green marker. So I started having the weirdest glitch right there, y'all. So I got out, got back in. I started having the weirdest glitch. I was trying to place a gate so that the tankers can get out, and the gate disappeared and I can never get it back. So, when you got you make lemonade. So I ended up making lemonade. I just switched everything over to the other side. It just made the gate a little bit smaller. I have no idea why I was doing that, but it just was like disappearing. I could not get it back for anything. But I was already kind of on the fence about the little gated area being so big, because it really just needed to have the vault entrance in it. That's it. It just needed to have the vault entrance and the tankers for protection, and that's it. So I decided to push it back, put these little concrete pillars, some little trash or whatever. Then they have these little sandbag type, I don't know what you would call those things. You would think I would know, right? But I have no clue. But they're like these little sandbag thingies, and you could prop guns up on them. So I decided to put that on the other side so that if someone living here wanted to protect their space, they could kind of like stay there and protect their space. And it's assuming that gate is big enough for those tankers to come through. That is the in and out thing for the tankers, so that they can go in and out of the thing, assuming that is big enough. And I don't know why I like these little pillars, y'all, but I do. I just put them everywhere. That tent is just out there just in case we need someone out here to kind of like watch over the vault entrance, like maybe the security would sleep there, and maybe we'd rotate it out. Somebody would do that there, and somebody would stay at the top. So the only thing that I had a problem with doing the underground part, which we're about to get started now, was I really wanted it to be the entire length of the park. But with the lakes / pools, because those are really pools, you can't really build into them because then they disappear. And for some reason, I couldn't get a hallway in between that little piece right there, in between the little waterways. You're going to hear Dylan in the background, so I apologize about that. But anyway, so he's in here with me. But So I couldn't make a little hallway. It would not work for me, which you're going to see me playing around with it later on, because I really wanted it to be bigger. I really wanted it to be the entire length of the park. So I don't know if later on I'll go in. I just kind of got to the point where I got super frustrated and I just kind of gave up on it. So it ends up just being like this little area right here. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to get him to just like lower it down just a little bit, son, please. But the only problem is, so I found all this vault furniture and it's kind of rusted and dilapidated. I would have loved to find like some newer furniture, which is kind of reminiscent of what was on the Fallout 76 trailer, but I couldn't find any. So like I said, I'm envisioning with this particular lot is, of course, this is after the aftermath. With Fallout 76, they said you were underground for 25 years. So of course, some things are going to be dated. Some things are going to be like worn, because 25 years underground living for a long period of time, is a little bit, it could be a little bit taxing on your furniture, you know what I'm saying? So especially if you're just using it day in, day out and stuff like that. So I was okay using it like this, but I really wanted it to be brand new, but it's okay. So I ended up using some furniture like this and just some kind of made beds, which I'll show you guys in a second. Because like I was saying, my vision for this shelter is, of course, after the 25 years is up and you immerse for reclamation day, we're going to actually use this vault to live out of, as opposed to just like leaving it for good. So that way we'll have protection from the elements. If there's any, thing that's going on, the big bugs, the big radioactive bugs, the radioactive creatures, whatever, we can have protection from that. And, stuff like that. We just kind of go underground and do that. So some of the furniture is going to be the original vault furniture, and some of it is going to be furniture that the people kind of just like created and just recreated on their own. So I'll show you guys that in a second. But with this particular bed, which I was trying to explain about earlier, is it didn't come with a mattress. It was just the bed frame. And I didn't even realize it didn't come with a mattress until I got in the game. So I didn't go back out and look for any mattresses. So I ended up using like little air mattresses, which surprisingly worked perfect. Like when I tested it out, the sim could actually sleep on it and everything. Of course, the only concern is it really doesn't match the aesthetic of the vault. It doesn't look like it's old. It just looks like it's a blow up bed or whatever. So if you do use this lot, which I don't know if I'm gonna put it on the gallery yet, I might just like zip it and put it like on a sim file share folder or something like that. I'm not sure yet. If anybody wants it, I guess you guys can tell me in the comment box. You might want to go find some bedding that's a little bit more appropriate for vault living. So anyway, and like I'm trying to make everything look kind of worn. I contemplated putting windows, but then I was like, no, people are going to want their privacy. So, but I do like those windows. They're kind of like old and like I don't even know, they got like film on them or whatever. I don't know. So anyway, this is me just trying to like decorate this bedroom and trying to do some stuff. And I was trying my hardest. I actually have like a little Vault Boy statue, and I was trying my hardest to find it because I was going to put it on that table, but I couldn't find it. So I ended up just saying, you know what? Sometimes when you're building and you're dealing with looking for specific stuff, it's best to kind of just like get everything and just place it out as you see it. That way you don't have to go looking for a specific thing when you want it. So at this point, that's what I'm doing. I'm just finding stuff that I know I'm going to want, and I'm just placing it sporadically in different places just so I could like go to it later. Cause I was trying my hardest to use like all this awesome CC that I have found, from the CC hunt with all the Fallout stuff. So anyway, so here I am just like trying to do all of that and trying to get my bedroom straight. I really wanted it to be massive, y'all, because the original vault, I think, can hold 500 people. I think it was. Sorry, I had to take a drink of coffee. I think it was like 500 people on Vault 76 they can hold. I'm not sure what Vault 111 was on Fallout 4, but I'm sure it was similar, like to how many people. So I really wanted to make it massive where like a ton of people could live there. But like I said, being that the backstory with this may have been, this is just some Vault Tech employees and this was their specific vault. So when the Fallout happened, they can have this to go into. Then, I guess it makes sense that it's only 6 bedrooms, but my original plan was to have it be like way more massive bedrooms. But with me not being able to get past those lakes, it just happened like that. So what I envision is some of the rooms are a little bit bigger. All of the rooms are a little bit different. So some of the rooms are a little bit bigger. So maybe based on your status with the company or how much money you spent for your vault space, you might have the bigger, the nicer room or whatever. So like this room in particular came with like a TV, a nice couch, a nice bed. I ended up changing out the bed here and putting one of those made beds, which you'll see in a second. And all the rooms have like ventilation fans, because if you can imagine living underground for like years, you're going to want to air out your space. And they also have like furnaces and little air conditioners, just in case you want that. So anyway, so yeah, that's the situation with that. And I think I'm trying to think what else I could say about these particular rooms. The lockers, I don't even know if they're functional. They might just be decor items. But the Fallout shelters, they all had lockers. You would imagine though, whoever lives here, they probably lock their room. I did put access key codes or whatever on outside of every door, so the person can punch in their number and like enter access into their room. But if for some reason like something happens and somebody happens to break in your room, you also have the lockers to kind of like lock up your stuff, so you don't have to worry about anybody kind of taking your belongings. Because if you guys can imagine, this is after a whole nuclear bomb has hit the world. People are going to be scrambling for meds. They're going to be scrambling for food, for clothing and stuff like that. Little simple stuff like that. So they're going to want to lock up their things because they're going to not want anybody to take their stuff from them. So there's the Fallout. There's the Vault Boy statue. I think he's so cute. I wish the creator that made it, and if I would have been doing this like back in the day, right? The creator that created it said if there was people wanted more of the vault. I think this one was the charisma one, but if people wanted more of them, then they would make some more. And I guess nobody asked, because I went to the person's site to see if they had made any more, and that was the only one that they had. So I'm like, man, if I would have known back then, I would have been like, yeah, make some more, because that's the charisma one. The charisma one just has like a little smile on it, but they have. So if you know anything about Fallout, I feel like I'm gonna be explaining the game. I didn't play it for the channel, but I did play it in my personal time. But when you level up, you have certain features that you unlock. And it could be like your guns, like your shooting skills. Your charisma is like if you wanted to like convince somebody to come with you, or convince somebody to give you like meds or something like that, stuff like that. So there's different aspects. I really like the game Fallout. I was explaining it to one of my friends last night. I was like, Fallout is like one of those games where it combines like RPG elements and like shooter action elements, and the story is so good. I have Fallout Vegas too, but I haven't played it yet, so I know the story is different for each one. Fallout 76, from what we can gather so far, which I was reading some of the comments, and people are just like so disappointed in it because it's going to be online. But I'm actually excited about it, because I was one of those people that would play it by myself and would say, oh my gosh, I wish I could play this with somebody, or do a 2-player, because sometimes you would come across those areas where it would just be way too hard. And I don't know, I enjoy elements of 2-player. I do enjoy elements of playing by myself, but I'm from the age where, that sounds crazy saying it like that, but I'm from the age where we played a lot of 2-player games, and it was just something fun. Anyway, this particular bedroom, while I'm sitting there talking about other stuff, is gonna probably be like more for like teens. Maybe there's some teens that came with their parents, or maybe some children, maybe a child and a teen, that came with their parents. So I put like some books and some toys and stuff in there. And like I said, everything just looks kind of old and ran down. So I did do that in that room, but with the gameplay though, especially like with Fallout 4, you had decision making elements where you can decide how to answer people's questions, which could affect your relationships with them. You could do certain missions, you could stay away from certain missions, like you could just shape your whole story. So it was just an all around cool game, because it was just like, it was action, it was RPG elements, it was decision making elements that affected the gameplay. And so I don't know, it was just a really cool game. So I'm actually looking forward to Fallout 70. Fallout 70. I'm getting all my names confused. Oh my God. I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm hoping that they will just give you like a single player experience where you don't have to get online. But if you do get online, maybe it'll be like a solo online, like nobody else will be online with you, or you could do a friends only online. I'm crossing my fingers that they'll do that, because according to the conference, it's going to be online and everybody else will be online too, which means you can have player versus player, which is PvP. People can shoot you, kill you while you're like looking for your stuff or building your base or whatever. People can come and destroy your base. And I think a lot of people were just kind of like that takes away from, the whole gist of the gameplay. But anyway, this was me trying to figure out how to make a doggone hallway down that little thing, and it just was not working, and it was deleting stuff at the top. So I ended up just undoing it altogether. But maybe in the future, as I'm playing this lot, I will make a hallway, because I would imagine like maybe eventually you want to make some crops underground, because you don't want to do crops on top of the ground, because you got to realize that this was just a nuclear bomb, that like all the soil is messed up. All of the water got radiation in it, So there's like elements up there where you're just going to be like, I don't want to deal with planting up there. So I would like to eventually incorporate like a little planting area down here with some planters, and then we could like plant like vegetables, fruits, and stuff like that, and kind of like live down here and just only go up when we need to, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be kind of interesting to kind of like play around with it like that. But anyway, each of the rooms has like a personality. So this is one of the made beds, like where you got like I forget the name of those little things, those little shipping, I don't know what the thing's called. And anyway, and it's sitting on cinder blocks. There's like a little teddy bear somebody found. Like maybe this would be like a lady's room, and that teddy bear reminded her of her daughter she lost or something like that. So that'll be her room. The other room has like, I think I'm gonna show it in a second. It has like a ton of scribbles on the wall. There's like liquor in there. There's like cigarettes and snuff. So I would imagine that would be the person that's kind of like lost his marbles just a smidge and kind of gone crazy, because living in the vault for 25 years underground with the same people all the time, I could just imagine that would be pure torture. So maybe he lost his mind just a little bit and he scribbled on the wall and stuff like that. But I'll show you guys that room later. So I'm just like filling in like little elements and stuff here. Like I said, I think all the rooms have at least a furnace or refrigerator, a ventilation fan, and the lockers. The beds might change whether they have a refrigerator. Whether they have a TV or a radio. One of the rooms does have a computer, so maybe that'll be like the head person that that controls everything, and he's closer to the entry gate, which I'll show you guys in a second. So maybe he's the one that kind of oversees all of that. I can envision that it maybe it's a newlywed couple in here. It's a single mom that lost her daughter. Maybe her daughter's still out in the world and she'll find her daughter. I don't know. Maybe that teddy bear's a reminder of her daughter. Then of course kids, like a teen. I envision a teen and a child, and then of course the guy that's gone crazy, and then maybe like another guy that's like the brute strong, like leader type, So I got like personalities I was trying to think about when I was like developing the rooms and stuff. So when you first come down in the vault, I was trying to like envision or trying to figure out a way to make it where there was like an entry point, because what if someone did get into the vault and they weren't supposed to be there? Something you got to think about. So you come down into the vault, you drop down into that little room, and there's actually going to be like a key card scanner and stuff like that you have to deal with in order to get past that. That's that little orange thing right there, the little panel. So you have to have a key card in order to get in there. You just can't come in the vault. You just can't come down into the vault and boom, you're in the vault. So and then there's like a little intercom system. If for some reason your key card's not working, you can say, hey, buzz me in. You never know. If you're out there in the radiation and your key card gets messed up, that would suck, because when you come back down here in the vault and you can't get in, that would really suck. So I was going to use those Coca-Cola and Pepsi machines, but I was like, man, they look entirely too new. So I changed my mind about it. So I ended up taking them out. Here's just like a little seating area. I really like those little seats, and I just wanted to incorporate them right there. There's some more lockers and stuff right here, for extra storage. Maybe that'll be where we'll put our tools, our guns and stuff, the community type stuff, we'll put that stuff there, and things of that nature. There's cameras all over the place, for various reasons. Of course, all of the electric equipment, you got to go check if something goes out. You might have to go replace a fuse. That's all over there in that little area. And then over here, which of course I would have loved to have be bedrooms, it ended up not being bedrooms, is like the little, I guess, community space, like the open space. And I learned this little trick. So I really wanted to use those get to work lights. They look like pendant lights. They look like little saucer lights. I forget the name of them. Hold on, more coffee break. I forget the name. That's the only problem when you're doing voiceovers, because you got to like go as the video is playing. But Lost my train of thought. Oh, the saucer lights. So I really wanted to use those lights because I felt like they were retro. They were kind of dated, but they don't emit a bunch of light. And you're already underground with no windows, no natural light coming in. So it's naturally dark down there. So I think I saw someone do this on, as a matter of fact, I know I saw someone do this on a build on the gallery. And I was like, why did they do that? And then it dawned on me, that's why they did that. Because if you really want to use a light, but it doesn't have a ton of light coming from it, you could take that little circular saucer light, size it down as small as you can. It doesn't affect how much light it gives off. It just affects the size of the lamp itself. And then you can hide it inside of the light, essentially. So I did that on every single light on the lot. It was beautiful because I was really concerned about, I really want to use these lamps. I didn't want to be limited to having to use a lamp because of the amount of light it gave off. I wanted to focus more on the aesthetics of the light. So I like the fact that I was able to like remember, oh yeah, just use this, size it down, put it in there, and then you can have a lot of light. So here I am trying to play around with tables because this is the little kitchen area, mess hall, I guess you could call it. I really wanted to use the dilapidated tables, but then I really like those 50s diners tables. So I contemplating doing like a mix of both. Like maybe they went up in the world and got the mix, the chairs and brought them back down into the thing. But then I was like, no, it just didn't go with the aesthetic of the whole place. So I ended up using these old tables that were kind of just like run down and kind of stained or whatever, and doing those like that. And I think it came out pretty good with that whole situation. Sorry, answering a text message. Anyway, so I like how that whole little thing came out. Now the kitchen, unfortunately, is way newer than I would probably like it to be, but it's limited with the things that I could find. The bathroom, on the other hand, it's pretty run down. So the toilets, I kind of went back and forth trying to decide, do I do the old rusted gross toilets or do I do the brand new toilets? And I was like, you know what? Do the old gross toilets, of course, because that's what you're supposed to do. So I ended up using those. And the showers are like, I guess these standalone showers that you kind of like put up against the wall. And I end up making like these little, I guess, walls for privacy. But for the most part, it's not private. You go in there, you take a shower, you get out. You're not dilly-dallying. You're not doing your makeup in the mirror. You're not, you're not doing stuff like that. So, it's a very basic bathroom. Now, as you guys saw, 8 people could live here, right? There's 6 bedrooms. Well, 7 people if you include the 2. Well, no, 8 people because somebody could share a bedroom. But anyway, somebody could share a bed rather. So 8 people could totally live here. There's only 3 showers. So of course you're going to have to like figure that out. But realistically, like it would be like that in real life. You would have to figure it out. So, you just can't even just worry about, we need everybody to have their own bathrooms. Like this is vault living. So anyway, so yeah, that's just me kind of like playing around with the wall paint. I liked all the wall paint I had got, y'all. It was such a struggle me trying to figure out what to use. Then I ended up realizing I can do that old rustedness in the pond. So I did that over there. But it was really a struggle with me trying to figure out what wall paint to use because I wanted to have something that looked old and dilapidated, but still kind of like fresh a little bit, like nothing that's like totally overboard. So this little room we're working on right now is kind of like the little infirmary. If you know anything about Fallout or just the whole concept is you're going to go out in the world, there's radiation, you're going to get sick, you might get stung by something that gives you like something, or you might get shot by another survivor. You just never know. So I wanted to have like an infirmary so that they could come and get their meds. So I envisioned that they would go out in the world and find stuff and come stock up their meds here. There was a ton of meds I found online that were Fallout inspired. So I just stacked them all in the shelves and just kind of like sporadically put them here and there. Some of them aren't really meds, like the tin can thingies. That's where you find coins and stuff when you're in the world. I had just found that little command center thingy, so I just threw it right there. It got to the point where I was just throwing anything on the shelves, but for the most part, it's storage and it's medicine. And I found those cans. So I was like, oh, we need these cans. So I put them on the shelf. I couldn't center them on the shelf, but I wanted them so bad. I just said, bump it. I'll just do whatever with them. But anyway, so here I am just putting some ammo boxes, some Radaway, I think there was so much medicine, y'all. There was, what's the name of the stuff that makes the things go slow? Zats. No, vats. There was vats. There was, oh gosh, there was so much stuff, y'all. There was a jet. There was, I mean, it was crazy. I couldn't tell you everything, but you could see from the bottles if you played the game or if you know anything about the whole concept of the game. It was a ton of stuff. I did put some canned foods and stuff in there, some stuff like that. Then I ended up putting those chairs in there again, just in case you needed to sit and to catch your breath while you're waiting for the medicine to react. And I also put a bed in there, just in case whoever's being worked on, which I guess that would mean maybe, now think about it, the lady that's here that maybe lost her daughter and she wants to go find her daughter. Maybe she's a nurse and she's in here and she's going to take care of everybody. I wanted to put a curtain right here so bad so it could look like you could just like have a little bit of privacy. But the curtain came out too far from the wall. So I ended up just putting like a doorway, but I really wanted to put a curtain. I just thought that would be so cool just to kind of like close it off. So here I'm just sizing up doors, just trying to like play around with maybe possibly doing something. So I ended up just doing like a doorway like that. So it's not very much privacy, but it's vault living. Like it's not going to be a ton of privacy. I put that x-ray thing on there because I really wanted something just to say, hey, this is the infirmary. But I ended up finding like a little medical sign later on and I put that over there. I think I still kept that other thing in there. So I ended up finding all of these little tubes and stuff. And I was like, what? Because the funny thing is the whole time I was decorating and stuff, I was in custom content only. So whenever I got out of custom content only and I saw all the non-custom content stuff, like the in-game stuff, I was like, okay, this stuff will work. So I ended up like grabbing all those tubes and signs and stuff, like an exit sign. It was like an emergency sign, the med sign, stuff like that. So this little area right here is going to be like the little workout area. Because if you're going out there fighting big bugs and you're going out there fighting big monsters and stuff like that, your fitness is going to need to be on point. So what's really cool about these little bicycle chairs is they're actually considered stools, but they're bicycle chairs. So your sim will actually sit there. They won't get any fitness from it, but it just looks really cool. So I ended up using them anyway. And then this little area right here is just going to be like some shelves for like entertainment stuff. I got board games. We got books. We got magazines. We got scrapbooking supplies, just anything like you could just kind of go over there to kind of like just enjoy your, freedom. Like you come out your room, you want to have something to do, some way to interact with everybody. So that's the shelves for like that type of stuff. I try to remember what else I put on the shelves. I know there's like a ton of board games I found that were from Fallout inspired, I guess you could call it. And definitely stuff like that, books and magazines and stuff like that. And it's so funny. I was like, some of the things I really wanted to put on the shelf and they just wouldn't fit. There's another Vault Boy. They just wouldn't fit. And then I realized you could size stuff down, like duh, you could size that down. So some of the books I end up sizing down. There's another Codsworth. Anyway, some of the books you can size down. So I end up sizing down some of them just to put them on the shelf, which you'll see that in a second. So of course there's just like some debris and stuff over there and things like that. And I found some things while I was going through all my stuff that could go upstairs. So I was just kind of like going back and forth. And here I am just putting, so see, I sized that down to put that there. Then I sized those books down to put that there. I was like, wait, forget you can size stuff down. Like I've been missing, stuff. Then I ended up using some of these posters that were, I guess, Fallout inspired. I wish I could have found more Fallout inspired artwork. I would have had this place pleathered with them. But maybe, as I'm playing through with this world, the persons will go in the world and find some stuff and they can bring it back to decorate the vault. Because you want to have some place where you can live at that kind of has a homely feel to it. I forgot to say, as we were back in the bathroom, I ended up finding curtains that I could put in the bathroom. The only problem is when I went to go test the lot, the Sims act like they can't go through there. So when I just tested it, I actually teleported them in there. So if you do use this lot, if I happen to share it, you might want to take the curtains down. But I like the idea of the curtains because it does give them like a privacy. So the only newer part of this place is the living area right here, which I was kind of disappointed in. But the couches that they had that were like old and run down, they were like a little too old and run down for me. So I ended up not using them. That's like a little Nuka-Cola machine right there. I ended up not using them. So I ended up just using the newer furniture. It's a little bit disappointing that it doesn't really fit the aesthetic of the build, but it works. I guess it works. So anyway, I think I'm getting close to the end of this whole little situation. So I will come back and show you guys like oh, nope. We got the little card tables I'm putting right here. I forgot I had put those right there, but I will show you guys like a tour of the facility, with a character that I created. And, yeah, so you guys can kind of see it in action. I really like how it came out. Of course, like I said, I know that there's room for growth. There's room to put like planners and stuff like that in there. I would love to do an LP based out of living in a vault. I think that'd be like so cool. Here I am just adding those lights because I really wanted more light down that hallway. I think that'd be so cool though. So I might consider it whenever I get some free time. I don't know. You guys can kind of chime in and tell me whether you think you'd be interested in that. So I will see you guys on the other side for the tour. Guys, here we are outside of the park area to get ready to do the tour, and I'm here with Peter, which is one of the characters that I created for this I guess tour or what have you. And specifically, check out this Pip-Boy that he has on right now, right? Isn't that kind of cool? Anyway, so unfortunately though, the Pip-Boy is like a bracelet, so it only works with certain outfits. So I had one outfit planned for him, but whenever he put the shirt on, it covered the Pip-Boy, so I was like, man. But anyway, I couldn't find any vault shirts, so I am in the process right now of making one. So if you guys end up wanting to use this lot, which is actually called Vault 137, I will have Vault 137 clothing for it, which I think is gonna be really cool. And I'm probably gonna have to use this shirt since it works with the Pip-Boy. But anyway, and then he also has a gun on the back, and I cannot remember. I end up having two gun CCs, and I can't remember which one this is. But anyway. And the star of the show, yes, is Codsworth. So, of course, he's been through the run. So, I mean, he's got like a couple of war wounds, so to speak. He has like some, I don't even know, like maybe some blast debris or whatever on him. He's not as shiny as he once used to be. So it's a little bit disappointing. But he is Peter's companion in this tough world. So anyway, unfortunately, it's about to get dark. And I really wanted to record the tour, so I'll just kind of show you guys, and then we'll go into the vault and I can show you guys how that elevator works. But here is like the area with the cars and everything and the dilapidated car, and here is like what could be dog meat, which I said I'm going to probably create my own dog meat. Here is like the little grill area, which it's still intact, but not so much. So I use these from Jungle Adventures because they have like a warmness to them. Then we have some old crates and stuff over here. Then, of course, I'm gonna probably have to go in tab mode. Okay. Then we got a statue of another Codsworth. Maybe he's just out here. Maybe we created him and he's out here to kind of like protect the area. I don't know. And so then here we go over here with our swings and our rocket ship, little playground and stuff like that. I really like how these came out, y'all. I mean, look at this. I mean, if I could get in tab mode and show you guys, I mean, like legit, look at this. I mean, it is like the coolest piece of CC. And I know it's so stupid because it's just like, what? Like, why is that so cool? I don't know. Another thing I really liked too was these little, I guess, what would these be considered? The little electricity lines or whatever. But it got to the point where I was like, I couldn't figure out how to like bring them over here too, because then I was just like running out of space. So I didn't put them over there, but I really wanted to continue them alongside the lot, but ended up just stopping right here. But I still think it looks really cool. Like the backdrop right here though. I mean, check that out. You can't tell me that doesn't look cool. Anyway, so here is the bridge we were talking about to kind of go over. I was having the craziest glitch with the fence disappearing when I had it on the catty corner, so I ended up doing it like this. So it is what it is. I would have rathered it be like catty corner, like how I wanted it to be. But it couldn't work out that way. So anyway, so here we go into this little area. Here go the tankers, I guess you could call these, which they look absolutely awesome. I think if you wanted to do like recording inside of here in tab mode, you could probably like teleport your sim inside here and it'll look like he's sitting in there. I've actually done that in another project I was working on. Here's the tent that somebody can stay out on, like a little campground. And I was thinking, and I might try to do this if I actually do an LP with this lot, putting an actual campfire inside of it and lighting it. And I think it'll work. I think it will, because this is just like a decoration piece. So there's like a bucket, some kerosene tanks over there. And then of course over here, there's the vault entrance, and then just some debris, and maybe we had to throw out some trash and just sitting over here. And then of course over here is where we would stand our ground, I guess. I don't know, like the little area we come over here and just kind of like fend off some of the things. So like I was telling you guys with the elevator, this is the vault entrance. I use this rug because I just felt like it looked like a symbol of some sort, like enter here at your own risk. I don't know. But the way the vault works is you actually just click your sim and you tell your sim to go here, and they will actually teleport there. It is the craziest thing. So let me show you guys how this works. We're going to go on and let him go run over there. The lot traits are crazy, so he's going to be dazed, and you know, it's crazy. It's vault living. I really wish I could have had Codsworth have like more of a floating walk, but this was the only walk I could give him. And he does unfortunately have needs like eating and stuff like that. So it's kind of creepy when you start seeing him eating a grilled cheese sandwich. But he eats a grilled cheese sandwich. He uses the bathroom. He takes showers. It's kind of creepy. I wish that there was a way we could just like eliminate his needs altogether, but there's not a way we could do this. But anyway, it still mimics like what he's taking his little precious time getting over there, but it still mimics like what the city living elevators do. Your sim will just disappear and appear down here. So isn't that kind of cool? I like it a lot. I thought that was really cool. So anyway, so that's the elevator function. So here is like the little access room. When you first come down into the vault, you got to come over here, put your access key up in here. And then if you, for some reason, can't get in here, then you would buzz here to be allowed access into the vault. And we just got some words and stuff right here from whoever lives here, you know, like, hey, here's like the little news or what have you. This mimics the same thing at the top with the vault entrance and just some pipes and stuff. So anyway, come down here. We're going to go into the rooms. I'll give you guys like a tour of the rooms. I felt like me doing a tour of the room would be better than me doing pictures. So here is room number 1. Maybe it'll be like a newlywed couple that lives here. I mean, look at the texture of this paint, y'all. Oh my gosh, I love it. And of course, like stuff is peeling and stuff because it's been in the vault. You've been in here for 25 years. Things look a little bit run down and dilapidated. Here is Vault Boy. I only call him Fallout Boy all the time. It's like ridiculous. When I think of him, I think of like the Fallout Boy. But this is the Charisma 1. If I could get down and show you guys. Oh my gosh, where did he go? There he is. There he is. That's the Charisma 1. He has the thumbs up like, hey. I wish I would have been able to get all of them, but you know, it is what it is. Here's some Radaway on the desk and some more medicine. And this TV does work. It's kind of like an old retro type TV. Like I said, oh, you can. Okay, so you can actually change outfits and stuff with these. So they actually do work like dressers. There's a furnace and stuff like that. So that's room. The radio actually does work, which I think is kind of cool. So that is room number 1. And then room number 2 here is one where if we get dog meat can sit right there. That's his little bed. Of course, you do have lockers here. You got another furnace, a mirror. This one has a TV with a couch because it's maybe for someone that paid a little bit extra, you know, to have all these amenities. A little personal fan, a regular box fan, and then a radio. And then this is one of those DIY beds I was telling you guys about. It has this little, I can't remember the name of that thing right now, and it's sitting on cinder blocks, and you know, the bedding and stuff looks a little bit old and dated and what have you, but you know, we don't have washer machines, so we gotta deal with it. Okay. Anyway, so then that's that room. And then this room is like I was telling you guys, this would probably be like for the person that's kind of like tired of vault living and he's kind of went a little bit crazy. So he's sitting over here doodling on his wall. He also has like a bottle of liquor. He has a cigarette. He does have some books that kind of keep him grounded for the most part, but I mean, he's not doing good. He has his ammo box over here, but he's not doing good, y'all. He has a snuff box over there. He also has a Vault Boy figurine. He has a radio, a little can to plant over here, and I forget what this is. I think it's a cooler. That's a cooler. And yeah, so that's pretty much his room. Then we go over here. This is like some more stuff over here, just like things to help keep the vault running and things of that nature. And these are the little control thingies I was telling you guys about. So you punch in your access code to go into your room. And yeah, so that way you can kind of protect your room. Look at these doors though. I love them. I love them. I know it's like the simplest things, right? But anyway, here's another room. Maybe this will be for, you know, I don't even know, y'all. Like I got personalities for the people, but these rooms were kind of just like whatever. But the same thing. This room has a desk. It has like the lockers, it has a mirror, all that type stuff. And then it does have a little TV here. And this TV, like I said, does work, and a little storage shelf over here just in case. And then with this room, this is going to be like the little kids room. There's a teen that probably sleeps there and a child that sleeps here. It could be like two boys maybe or something like that. This Nuka-Cola actually glows, y'all. It's actually a light. It's so cool. And then they have like a little radio in here, but they also have like this little TV, which is like a little travel TV, I think. Like you could probably take it around with you. Has an antenna. Like how crazy is that? I loved how I did the rugs in here, y'all. I was just like thinking, I was literally thinking I was winning with these rugs. I was like, girl, you did that. You did that with these rugs. These are 3 different rugs, and I just kind of like rotated them and laid them on top to look like, you know, the length of the room. But this room is a little bit bigger, so you guys can kind of tell, as well as this room. I think by like 1 row, because I think these are all 7 rows, and then this one is like 8. And then for the last room, which Codsworth has made his way into, it has a computer and you know, magazines, a radio. It's got some medicine here, and then this is the room that maybe will be for a lady that lost her daughter. I don't know. I'm like, that's my vibe, and that like keeps her going. That's her daughter's toy. And then there's like a guitar over here. It's not functional, unfortunately, but it would be cool if it was. And then, you know, Codsworth's coming in here right now. Like I said, he does play with the, yeah, he actually, yeah, he does stuff like that. So it's kind of weird to me, but but I like him anyway. Okay. Anyway, so then over here is like the little seating area we was talking about. The ladder, of course, is if you need to get up here and work on whatever's inside this box. You got buttons to press on and off to kind of toggle things on and off. And then, of course, you got more lockers and stuff. Then over here is like the little kitchen area we was talking about here. And this is like the retro stove. It actually does work. And this refrigerator does too. And I think it's kind of cool because you could actually see what's like inside the refrigerator. So I thought it was pretty cool. And then we got like sponge and some dishwashing detergent or what have you. Some dishes and all that good stuff, canned food, stuff like that. I mean, it's like simple stuff up here, but I love this shelving system because you could kind of interchange. But you can interchange the cabinets so they all look kind of different. I can show you guys that in a second. But I love how these came out because it's like you have this one, you have the one that you can lift up, you have the one with shelves, you have the one that you can lift out. And the same thing at the bottom. These are like the same cabinets, but they have like different variations. So you can just kind of like play around, including this little over here. I love how that came out. Anyway, and then over here is like the little seating area for the mess hall. And of course, they were eating grilled cheese in here earlier. And then over here is like the little living area. I wish, like I said, I could have found more paintings and stuff, but I couldn't. But maybe they created this out of license plates that they found in their travels, and it looks like United States. And I really thought it was cool because the plates are actually the states. So like this is a Texas, this is Louisiana, Arkansas. So I thought it was kind of cool when I saw that. I was like, that's really cool. And here go Alaska, which is where I live. And then here goes a poster that maybe they found out and about in the world. I don't know, y'all. And then there's like a little seating area maybe for the child to come over here and sit and read and kind of like hang out while the adults are watching TV. But you know, do we even have TV right now? I don't know. That's a good point. That is a good point. We probably don't have TV right now, so that might be for nothing. Oh, and then this record player. It actually does work. I think it's really cool. Let me turn it on and show you guys real quick. We can put on jazz, and it actually does work. Isn't that cool? I love it. I love it. I love it. So anyway, so you got that. And then over here, we got like 2 little card tables. I did different variations of the chairs just to make it look like they had just found some chairs out in the wild. Brought them down here. I wish the card table was a little bit older and dilapidated, but it's not. And then over here, we got our blast. What's this called? Wait, what's it called, y'all? I forgot just that quick. Blast Radius board game. We got a checker. We got another Blast Radius. Then we got like a little scrapbooking kit down here, you know, for crafts or whatever. Another Blast Radius. just like different little stuff. There's another Vault Boy over there. Then we got some canned food up here. We got some boxes, antifreeze, some stuff, some magazine stuff like that. So that's just various stuff over there. You could probably put some more stuff on the shelves if you wanted to. I just filled it up a little bit. Then over here, our little workout area. So these balls, you could actually sit on them. This you could actually sit. I will show you guys what that looks like right now. This you could actually punch. You could actually practice punching. And then this, of course, came with the fitness stuff, which I was kind of disappointed to use this because it doesn't look like dated or whatever, but I wanted to have something real in here as opposed to something that they could just sit on. But he really sit on there, and oh, he got up too quick. But it looks like he actually is sitting on it, like he could be biking. It's kind of cool, but it's considered a stool. So I don't know, it's kind of weird, but it's a bike. And like I said, they can also sit here. So I'll let you see how it looks when he sits there. Oh, I forgot I had made him practice punching. That's why he got up. That is the reason why he got up. So anyway, he's going to practice punching and stuff right now. And this actually is a punching bag. I thought it was so cool that it's hanging from the wall, but it's a punching bag. Okay. And then he's going to come over here and come sit on this ball so I can show you guys that. These are just like, decor items, so you can't really do anything with them. But he actually sits on the ball and he can do his exercise and stuff on the ball. And then of course, that one actually works. So this is the infirmary, I guess you could call it. I did put a ladder in here so that if you needed to get up to this top shelf, you could. There's like a first aid kit over here. And like I said, all the medicines and stuff. They're just like decor items, so you can't really do anything with them. We got Radaway, like I said. We got Jet. We got Vats. We got Coolant. We got all sorts of stuff, y'all. Like, it's so cool. It's so cool. I can't remember everything we have. I guess I could get it to build by mode and kind of like tell you guys what some of this stuff is. But we got, let's see here. We got Psycho. Yep. We got an IV bag. We got the Radaway. We got Buff Out. That's right. Buff Out. Buff Out. And this is the bottle cap tin. That's some more Radaway. That is some stim packs. That's right. I was telling you guys when I was doing the voiceover, I was like, that's just nurse room prescription. We got a fixer. I don't know what that is. Rebound, because I haven't played Fallout Vegas. We got Radex, Day Tripper. We got some Jets. What's that? Med-X. So you guys kind of see it's just like we got Snuff right there. This is Jet again. So just like some stuff, we got some holo tapes. If you guys know anything about Fallout, you got your holo tapes that always gives you like the history of what happened, stuff like that. You got Psycho, just everything else basically. Then we got the Nuka-Cola machine, which I wish actually worked, but it doesn't. It's just decoration item. And then over here, you got the showers. Like I said, I put these little curtains in front of them. And then of course you got the bathrooms, which are all functional. They just look really, really bad. I'll show you guys that right now. They just look really, really bad. So yeah, bathrooms are pretty bad. And there's, like I said, 3 bathrooms. They're all pretty much the same inside with the mirrors and everything. But like I said, with the showers, they do work. It's just your sim won't be able to get through the curtain thing. So that is pretty much it for the vault area. I think it's really cool. I did figure out a way to expand right here. In the future, I could figure out how to make like a hallway that can kind of go right here. And then maybe we can put like some more stuff over here. Because like I said, my original plan was to have the entire lot to be like an underground vault, but yeah, I just couldn't get past there. It kept messing up these lakes, so I got to figure that out. But anyway, that is pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think down in the comment box down below. I mean, look how cool this is. I don't even know why I like this so much, but it is like super cool to me. But oh, and speaking of which, this is Vault 137. Like I said, the lot traits, I'll tell you guys real quick because it's a vault. I made it kind of creepy, right? I end up giving it the creepy crawlies, the filthy, of course, because it is, and then cursed, because a lot of things seem to go wrong here. I thought about doing the science layer. When did we get peace and quiet? Anyway, I thought about doing the science layer, but I didn't really get a chance to make like the science aspect of it because I wanted to make like a little lab and stuff down here. So maybe eventually if I figure out how to do this whole little situation and you guys are interested in it, maybe I'll do a part 2. And then on this over here, we'll do like the underground lab and stuff like that and make this vault a little bit bigger. Because I think that's what my original plan was. So I would like to kind of figure out how to do that. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think down in the comment box down below. Sorry the video was so long. I just wanted to make sure I did it justice. And Peter, he's so cute to me, but right now he looks crazy. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think down in the comment box down below. Don't forget to thumbs up and comment, of course, and subscribe if you are new. And I appreciate that. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.